And good evening, everyone, and welcome to Cherry Field in Tucson. Don Garbison for Southwest Sports Network. It's play-by-play in the 2013 Chris Moon Memorial Cherry Field Baseball Classic. And our final pool game of the day here from Field 1, and it features the Pusch Ridge Lions and the Cholla Chargers. And we're underway here. Alan Ramirez leads off for Pusch Ridge. Down on the count, no balls and 2 strikes. And the next pitch is low, and it's 1-2. Now the wind and the 1-2 pitch. And misses outside, maybe low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cholla just finished up playing over on the other field, which is running behind us here on Field 1. And so we're getting started about not quite 25 after 8 o'clock. And the pitch misses, and it's 3-2. And so with Cholla just finishing up and just coming over, we're still working on getting lineups. You know, they hand it off as coaches are coming up. In fact, kind of the ink was still drying, that type situation, and so we don't get our typical time before the game to work through the lineups and get them in a scorebook and so forth. So we'll work on that and piece it together as we go along. But Alan Ramirez earns a leadoff walk for the Lions, and he's aboard at first base. And the batter is Ryan Penny. So Ramirez leads off at second for the Lions. Ryan Penny bats second and plays third base. Mike Doty, the shortstop, is third. Donnie Perdue is the first baseman. He bats fourth. Jacob Fritzson is the pitcher, and he's in the 5th spot. Philip Tanner, the catcher, is 6th. The right fielder, Chad Willis, is 7th. Batting 8th, the center fielder, Tim Yarborough. And a pitch to Ryan Penny over for a strike. The number 9 hitter in the Lions order is Adrian Ochoa. Leadoff hitter aboard at first base. Runner goes, and the ball bunted. And this one back up on the hill behind us and out of play. And the count 0-2. Alejandro Nunez, the starting pitcher today for the Chargers. And the pitch is high for a ball, and it's 1-2. And the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and a foul ball. One and 2 on Penny with Ramirez aboard at first base. Nobody out in the top of the first. Throw over to first base, and the runner dives back. Now time called at the plate. Runner goes, and the ball fouled off. Pitch foul to the backstop. And we stay at a ball and 2 strikes. Nunez looking in as he bends, now sets and delivers, and it's outside. And it's 2-2. And then a line drive, and that's up the middle and into center field, a base hit. And Penny with a solid single, and that puts runners at first and second.
17, shortstop, Mike Doty.
Yeah, Mike Doty bats with 2 aboard. And the bunt on, but Doty bunts through the first pitch for a strike. Nothing in 1 on Doty. Pusch Ridge trying to get on top here with a run in the first, at least one. Bunt on again. This one pushed wide of the baseline on the first base side, and it's 0-2. Nothing in 2 on Mike Doty. Ramirez at second, Penny at first. And a 0-2. And a swing. The ball gets away. And the runners will move up a base apiece. So it's a strikeout of Doty for the first out. And then the wild pitch moves the runners up. So now the Lions put 2 in scoring position for Donnie Perdue, the Lions first baseman. And the first 1-2 Perdue is low for ball 1. Not exactly a quick start to this one, but the Lions trying to get on the board in the top of the first inning. And the next one bounced in right at the feet of the catcher. That's Antonio Barola behind the plate for the Chargers. In the haste to get the lineups down, whether it was the lineup that was written down or the way I wrote it down, copying it off the lineup, we ended up with a couple of duplicate or one set of duplicate numbers on the Cholla side, so we'll have to wait a while to get some of their lineup put together. But we can give you their infield, as I mentioned, Alejandro Nunez, the starting pitcher for the Chargers, Barola, the catcher. Manny Aguirre plays first base. Joshua Jones at second. Daniel Tolano, the shortstop, Ricardo Gonzalez at third base. And we've got Jeffrey Ursola in center field, Rene Camposano in right field. Our duplicate number, again, whether it was written that way on the lineup card or whether I wrote it down incorrectly, copying it from the lineup card, we had a number 12 in that spot as well. There's a pitch over the outside corner for a strike, and it's 3-1. Nunez trying to pitch out a first inning trouble after a walk and a single started it. Got a strikeout, but a wild pitch moved the runners to second and third. question here because the batter Purdue had put a hand up asking for time, didn't grant it, but Nunez, the pitcher, started his motion and stopped, and so there was a question as to whether or not that should have been called a balk. And there's a fly ball hit well out to right field. Campuzano going after it, falls down, and 1 run comes in for the Lions, so they do get a run here in the top of the first inning. And now time is called. So the ball was down in right field, and a run is in as Ramirez scores. Penny is at third, and Purdue at second base on the 2-base error, and we get a Cholla timeout. Puschridge has a run in the top of the first. And Jacob Frithsen, the starting pitcher for the Lions. And he takes the first one low for ball 1. And the next pitch over for a strike, and it's 1-1. Nunez looking in for the sign, into the 1 and the 1-1. And that's lined, that's into left center field, and that's down for a base hit. A run will score. I want to throw over to first base, but there's nobody there. And that's going to go all the way to the fence. Another run comes in, and Puschridge has scored 3 in the top of the first inning. I think it was the shortstop that got the cutoff, and Tolano saw how far around the base that Frithsen went at first, and he threw a laser over there to the bag, but there was nobody anywhere close at all to the base. So an RBI single for Frithsen, and then the throwing error brings another run in, and Frithsen goes all the way around to third base. So a 3 spot for the Lions in the top of the first inning, and the batter Philip Tanner. And the first one to Tanner is low for ball 1. Tyler Padilla on as a courtesy runner at third base for the Lions. 3 runs for Puschridge in the top of inning number 1. The 1-0 pitch over for a strike, and it's 1-1. A walk, a couple of base hits, 2 errors in the inning, and all that adds up so far anyway to 3 runs. And a ground ball will get the run in. The infield playing back here, so Cholla is confident that they're going to score some runs on Puschridge today. And Tanner with an RBI ground out, a 4-3 play. And Frithsen's courtesy runner Padilla scores, and it's 4 in the first for the Lions.
Right fielder Chad Willis.
And now the batter is Chad Willis. And the first one to Willis misses for a ball. Chance to get things started again here for Puschridge, but for the Chargers, from their standpoint, a little bit of a fresh start here. Swing and a miss with now the base is empty, and Cholla looking for their final out. And 2-1 the count on Willis. And the count goes to 3-1. Number 7 hitter in the Puschridge lineup. The line in the 3-1. And that's near the outside corner for a called strike, and it's 3-2. Now Willis, the 3-2. He lays off on a ball that bounces in. Second walk of the inning given up by Alejandro Nunez. And now he faces the 8th man in the order. And the batter is Tim Yarborough. Well, Pusch Ridge has been able to cash in on a lengthy top of the first inning, scoring 4 times. And the first pitch is outside and low, ball 1. Nunez looking in as Barola goes through the signs. And the 1-0. And that's yanked foul down the left side, and it's 1-1. Cholla's record coming into the tournament listed at 4 wins and 8 losses, while Pusch Ridge was 10-1-1. That was according to the latest report on Max Preps. The 1-1 pitch. And that's a swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. The set from Nunez, the 1-2. That's high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Check over to first base, the set. And the 2-2 is high, and it's 3-2. And now the runner at first base, Willis, will be able to take off with a pitch. 3-2 count with 2 outs. Pusch Ridge has scored 4 times in the top of the first. Here's the set. The runner goes the 3-2, and it's a ground ball, and that's through and into left field for a base hit. The Lions keep swinging it here in the first inning. Yarborough with a base hit as Willis goes to second, and the batter is Adrian Ochoa. And a ground ball down the third baseline, but foul. Nunez with the set and the 1-strike pitch. It's high for a ball, and it's 1-1. Two aboard, 2 outs, 4 runs in for Pusch Ridge in the top of the first. They'll look back, the 1-1. And that misses inside and low. Cholla had shortened as though he was going to try to bunt. I don't know if that was really his plan or if just trying to put in a little distraction there for Nunez. Look back, the 2-1. And that's bunted, so sure enough, trying to bunt there. And the throw on to first base is in time. Interesting there, trying to bunt for the final out in the inning. A 1-3 putout retires the side. Pusch Ridge sends 9 to the plate in the first inning, scoring 4 times. And after having a play, it's the Lions 4. And the Cholla Chargers coming up to face Jacob Fritzson. Rene Campuzano leads off for Cholla. Boy, that first pitch looked pretty good. Called a ball. And we're underway in the bottom of the first inning. The 1-0 pitch. And that's inside. 2 balls and no strikes. Next one high, and it's 3-0. Yeah, the one thing Cholla needs right here in the bottom of the first inning, base runners. And they've got a 3-0 count to their leadoff hitter, Campuzano, the right fielder. And a pitch over for a strike, and it's 3-1. Swing and a miss, and it's 3-2. Jeffrey Arzola, the center fielder, will bat second. Alejandro Nunez, the pitcher, is third. Daniel Tolano, the shortstop, bats fourth. The number 5 hitter, the third baseman, Ricardo Gonzalez. Popped up right behind home plate, and that's off the glove of the catcher, Philip Tanner. Didn't see it right off the bat. Got turned around some and then had to try to make a basket catch, and he couldn't bring it in. Another 3-2 pitch. And that one's up and in, and it's ball 4. So Campuzano walks to begin the Charger first inning, and it brings up Jeffrey Arzola.
Number 8 center fielder Jeffrey Arzola.
Arzola ready, and the first pitch is outside for ball 1. He gave you Gonzalez batting 5th. Joshua Jones will hit 6th, then play second base. The number 7 hitters are a left fielder that either we missed or the numbers were written down wrong on the lineup card. Then Manny Aguirre or Aguirre, and again we'll get pronunciation on that, I would hope, as we go along here. He bats 8th and plays 1st. Antonio Barola, the catcher, is 9th. Adriano Cholla starts in left field for the Lions as we set their defense. Tim Yarborough in center field, Chad Willis in right. 4-0 Lions with a runner going. That ball grounded foul on the first base side. And they count 1-1. In the infield for Pusch Ridge, Ryan Penny's at third base. Mike Doty's the shortstop. Alan Ramirez at second, and Donnie Perdue at first. And Philip Tanner catching Jacob Frithson. Another 1-0. And that's fouled out of play down the right side, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes the count. Runner at first base and nobody out of the bottom of the first. A turn and a throw to first, and they had him over there, but not able to hang on to the throw. Campuzano way out there and had to try to scramble to get back. And a ground ball out to short. Doty goes to second base to get the lead runner. So Doty to Ramirez. That forces Campuzano on the 6-4 putout. Arzola aboard at first base on the fielder's choice, and it brings up Alejandro Nunez. Throw to first, and not nearly as close this time as Arzola now running over there at first base, and he is only a couple of steps off the bag. Ball bunted on the third base side. That's a good bunt, picked up, and they throw to first base. Out at first is the call as Nunez is thrown out. Close play over there, but the out recorded. Arsola goes to second, and the batter is Daniel Tolano. And the first one bounced in and blocked by Tanner, and that keeps Arsola at second base. Runner in scoring position, but now 2 outs for the Chargers in the bottom of inning number 1. They trail Pusch Ridge by a score of 4-0. Pitch over for a strike, and it's 1-1. Look back to second base, the 1-1 pitch. And that's a swing and a foul tip for a strike, and it's 1-2. Final game in the tournament, at least for today, in day number 1 of the tournament. The ball fouled out of play down the right field side. Back for a full slate of games again tomorrow. This is our 3rd game of coverage today. We'll have 3 more pool games tomorrow, a single game on Thursday, and then the championship game on Friday. And by the time we get to that single game on Thursday, all 12 teams will have received at least 1 game of coverage. A breaking ball, and that's fouled out of play. So we stay at a ball and 2 strikes. I mentioned Cholla came in 4-8 into the tournament. They lost their first pool game earlier today as that throw goes back to second base, and they had a little daylight back there, but the throw off the mark some, and the timing may have been a little bit off, but close back there. But Cholla lost their first pool game 17-4, the final in that one. And they're down 4-0 here early in the bottom of the first to Pusch Ridge. One and 2 the count on Tolano, the Charger shortstop. And a pitch outside, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tolano waving the bat back and forth. Frithson with the set. The check of the runner in the 2-2. And that's fouled off over on the third base side. Still 2-2 on Tolano. Ricardo Gonzalez, the third baseman, next for Cholla. And we'll see if he gets a chance to bat here in the first inning. It'll depend on what happens with Tolano. And the 2-2, that's a swing and a miss. The ball is going to get away, and there will not be a throw to first base. So it'll go as a strikeout and a wild pitch. And Tolano aboard as Arsola moves to third base on that same wild pitch. So the runner's at the corners with 2 outs for Ricardo Gonzalez. Frithson checks, now ready. Runner from first takes off, and the ball popped up first base side and just out of reach over the Cholla dugout on the first base side. Throw to first base, and the runner dives back. Of course, you want to be careful on that throw over to first in case it gets away. It's an easy run for the Chargers. They've got that runner at third base. Step to third, look to first. Now the set of the one-strike pitch. The runner from first takes off, and they'll concede second base. So Cholla actually stopped halfway, trying to draw the throw and trying to get Cholla in from third base, but after going about halfway, stops and then starts and gets himself into second. So he's in scoring position, but the count does go to 0-2 on Gonzalez. Fritzen trying to finish it off, and a ground ball over to third. Grabbed there, and a fire onto first base. And that's in time. The Chargers do not score in the first inning. No runs, no hits, and a couple of runners left on base after one. Cholla trails Pusch Ridge 4-0. Back to the top of the order for Pusch Ridge in the second inning. Alan Ramirez takes strike one. Ramirez walked and scored in the first. And the next one bounced in there, and it's 1-1 strike. The wind and the pitch, and that one fouled back, and it's 1-2. And the next one bounced in there, and it's 2-2 strikes. Two and two on Ramirez, leading off the top of the second inning. Ramirez, Penny, and Doty for the Lions. And a swing, that's going to get past the catcher, and that'll get another runner on base. So a strikeout and a wild pitch. Boy, and then that ball gets through and into center field. The catcher, Barola, upset, threw it hard back to his pitcher, Nunez, who didn't get it clean. It rolled out, and Jones had it go past him and into center field.
Now batting third baseman, Ryan Penny.
So a strikeout, a wild pitch, and then an error. And Ryan Penny takes ball one. 4-0 Pusch Ridge as they hit in the top of the second inning. Now the set of the pitch. Ball bunted, and it's bunted hard back to the pitcher Nunez. He looked to third base, but spins and throws to first. And they get the out at first base on the bunt. So the sacrifice successful as Ramirez moves to third base, and the batter is Mike Doty.
Shortstop, Mike Doty.
A little bit surprised that the Chargers keep the infield back. And the first one to Doty low for ball one. Now the wind and the 1-0. Pitch is low, and it's 2-0 strikes. Doty batting .364 coming into tournament play with a double and 5 RBIs. The wind and the 2-0. Well, that's high for ball three. Pusch Ridge trying to get the run in from third base with only one out. The bunt shown, but that's a 3-0 fake bunt there, and it's over for a strike, 3-1. Shaking off a sign, Nunez, and now he steps off. Now the 3-1. And a big swing there. Doty coming out of his shoes. Taking a good hack on 3-1, and count now 3 balls and 2 strikes. Runner at third and 1 out on the top of the second. Doty trying to get the run in. Nunez to the wind in the 3-2. And it's fouled out of play. Nunez working out of the windup. Into it he goes, another 3-2. And another foul ball. And a ground ball. Shortstop started to sneak in and get the tag at the plate. And that's Ramirez trying to jump over the catcher Barola, and he ends up landing hard at the plate. So Tolano kind of sneaking in a little bit at shortstop, and he was able to come in, and then they cut off the run on a nice play. 6-2 play to retire Ramirez for the second out. Doty aboard on the fielder's choice, and the batter Donnie Perdue. Perdue reached on an error his first time up, hit a deep fly ball out to right field that Campuzano got to, but then couldn't bring it in. And he takes a nice curveball for strike one. Perdue hitting .370 for the Lions. 7 doubles and a home run, 13 knocked in. And now time called. One on Perdue, the set and the pitch. And a ground ball over toward third, grabbed by Gonzalez. And the throw on to first base, and that'll do it. Pusch Ridge is turned away in the second inning as the Lions do not score. And after an inning and a half, it's still Pusch Ridge 4 and Cholla nothing. First pitch popped up, and that's out of play. Off the bat of Joshua Jones. Now the 0-1. And that pitch is a little bit low. It's 1-1. And the next one misses. 2 balls and a strike. Jesse Mendoza next for the Chargers. So he's our left fielder that more than likely I missed writing it down off the lineup card. And that ball hit well out to left center field. And that'll get down between the outfielders. And it's a leadoff double for the Chargers in the bottom of the second inning. Josh Jones with the double. And the batter is Jesse Mendoza.
Now batting 16, left fielder Jesse Mendoza.
And the first pitch outside for ball 1 to Mendoza. And here's a swing and a foul tip for a strike, and it's 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. That's low, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Jones at second base to begin the second inning for the Cholla Chargers. Again, it's the final game in pool play in day number 1 of the Chris Moon Memorial Cherry Field Classic. Full slate of games tomorrow, starting bright and early at 8 o'clock. And a swing and a miss, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. We'll have 3 pool games for you tomorrow here on Southwest Sports Network. Pomona and Rincon at 11. Sunnyside and Narbonne at 2. Rancho and Ralston Valley at 8. As the pitch misses, and it's 3-2. We know one of the opponents on our Thursday game. That will be Sabino. That's the only team we are not able to cover based on the setup that we have with the number of games that we've been asked to cover. 3 pool games today and 3 tomorrow. We were able to get 11 out of 12 with those 6 pool games. And in order to cover the SaberCats from Sabino High School, that becomes game number 7. And our lone game on Thursday, wherever they play, whatever time, whoever they play, that's the one we'll have. As the pitch is up and in. And that's ball 4. So, first 2 aboard now for the Chargers in the second inning, and timeout coming from the Lions dugout. We play in the bottom of the second, 4-0 Pusch Ridge. And the first pitch to Manny Aguirre over for a strike. The set, the throw back to second, and out at second base the call. The runner picked off at second. As Fritzson turned around, they got that timing down that time, and Jones is picked off of second base for the first out. So that'll erase a base runner. And the 1-strike pitch fouled off over on the first base side, and it's 0-2. Throw over to first base and the runner back. 0-2 on Aguirre with Antonio Barola next for the Chargers. Jacob Fritzson, the starting pitcher, with really good numbers. That ground ball goes over to the right side, and it's just into right field, a base hit. So Aguirre with a single, Mendoza to second, and the batter is Antonio Barola. But Fritzson's numbers 3-0 on the season, an earned run average of 3.20. 15 1/3 innings pitched, 13 hits allowed, 7 walks, 18 strikeouts. Now go after Barola with 2 aboard and 1 out in the Cholla half of the second. And the first pitch over for a strike. And the next pitch outside, and it's 1-1. Trying to lay off on a breaking ball. And Barola does. And the count's 2-1. And the next pitch low, 3 balls and a strike. There's Fritzen with a set, the 3-1 pitch. And that's high for ball 4. So a double, a walk, a single, and a walk in the inning. Still nothing to show for it for the Chargers as they had a runner picked off. But now the base is loaded with 1 out. Back to the top of the order for Rene Campuzano. And we'll get a courtesy runner over at first base for the catcher Barola. And it's Sergio Sylvain running at first base. And the first pitch to Campuzano over for a strike. He walked his first time up. The 0-1. That one just misses, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Hands up right here, bud. Hands up right here.
Pitch a little bit high, 2-1 the count. Base is loaded, 1 out for the Chargers in the bottom of the second, trailing Pusch Ridge 4-0. And the pitch fouled off. And the count goes to 2-2. And the pitch, that's over for strike 3, and Campuzano is called out on strikes. 2 away for Jeffrey Arsola.
Center fielder, Jeffrey Arsola.
And Arsola takes strike 1. He reached on a fielder's choice his first time up. And the fastball just a little bit inside, and it's 1-1. And pitch fouled out of play, and it's 1-2. Bases loaded for the Chargers here in the bottom of the second inning, still trying to get their first run across. The 1 and the 1-2. And that's back up the middle and into center field. At least 1 run will score, and that'll be the only one as the trailing runners are held up. An RBI single for Arsola, and the Chargers are on the board with a run in the bottom of the second inning. They trail 4-1. Now Alejandro Nunez up there to try to help himself out as he bats with the bases loaded and 2 away. And the first pitch bounces in there for ball 1. And the next one misses, and it's 2-0.
Hands up right here, bud. Hands up.
And the 2-0 pitch. That's over for a strike, and it's 2-1. Into the one and the 2-1 pitch. Right back up the middle. That's going to get into center field for a base hit. Scoring is Gary. Barola's runner waved around, and he will be in. And it's a 2-run single to make it 4-3. So Gary scores, Sylvain scores for Barola. Arsola goes to second. Nunez aborted first. 2 on with 2 outs, 3 in for the Chargers. And the batter is Daniel Tolano. Back to second base, and another runner picked off at second. And that will end the inning, but Cholla scores 3 times in the second, and after 2 innings of play, they trail 4-3. Frisson going after the first pitch in the 3rd inning and lifts a fly ball to right field. And Campuzano over there to make the play. 1 pitch and 1 out in the top of the 3rd inning. Frisson had an RBI single his first time up, came in hitting .318 with a double and 8 knocked in.
Pitcher Philip Tanner.
And Philip Tanner was hitting .542, 2 doubles and 2 RBI, and he had an RBI and a ground out in the first. And the first one outside and low, ball 1. 4-3 Pusch Ridge. They have the lead, and they're batting in the top of the 3rd. And the next one misses, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. And the next one misses, and it's 3-0. And that went over for a strike to Tanner. 3-1 the count. 1 out, bases empty. Top of the 3rd inning. Pusch Ridge leading Cholla 4-3. And that's a swing and a miss for Tanner, and it's 3-2. The 3-2. And that's hit out to right field, and that'll dump down in front of the right fielder Campuzano for a 1-out base hit. And Tanner aboard at first base for Chad Willis.
Here's a runner for the catcher Tanner at first base, number 2, Cameron Foss.
Courtesy runner over at first base for Pusch Ridge. Cameron Foss runs.
At bat for the Lions, right fielder Chad Willis.
1 on and 1 out in the 3rd. Willis stepping in. He walked his first time up. Came in batting .476, 2 doubles and 9 RBI. And the first pitch is high for ball 1. The set on the 1-0. Inside and low, 2 balls and no strikes. 2-0 on Willis. The set in the pitch, and that's low for ball 3. It's 3-0. Check of the runner and the 3-0 pitch. And that misses for ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk to Willis. And the Lions put 2 aboard here in the third with 1 out. And the batter is Tim Yarborough. Yarborough batting .214 on the year with 6 RBI. He had a base hit his first time up. And a breaking ball over for a strike. Check back to second base, the 1-strike pitch. And another curveball and another strike. That one swung on and missed. Oh, 0-2 on Yarborough. Adrian Ochoa will follow for the Lions. The 2-strike pitch. And another breaking ball and another swing and a miss.
Left fielder Adrian Ochoa.
Cholla just 0 for 2 entering tournament play, and he was out on a comebacker to end the first inning. In fact, trying to bunt, actually, I think it was. Takes the first pitch outside for ball 1. The 1-0. Off the handle, popped up, and that'll take a right turn into foul territory. And it counts 1-1. One and one on Ochoa. 2 on and 2 out, top of the third. 4-3 Lions lead. And a breaking ball over for a strike, and it's 1-2. So Nunez maybe settling in a little bit here. And maybe trying to change things up a little bit here at the bottom of the order. He's thrown a lot of curveballs to the 8 and 9 hitter, and that ball down in the dirt after a swing and a miss. And the throw to first base will end the inning. Strikeout, 2-3 put out. And the inning is over. No runs a hit plus a walk. 2 runners left for the Lions, and after 2.5 innings, they still lead 4-3. Daniel Tolano, the leadoff hitter, in the third inning for the Chargers, and he takes the first one low for ball 1. Tolano, Gonzalez, and Jones for Cholla in the third. And a curveball over for a strike. It's 1-1. And the 1-1 lays down a play. The 1-2 pitch. And that's inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tolano struck out in the first inning, but reached on a wild pitch. And a ground ball. And that's off the glove of the shortstop, Doty. And Tolano aboard. And E6 puts the leadoff man aboard for the Chargers here in the third inning. And the batter is Ricardo Gonzalez.
Third baseman, Ricardo Gonzalez.
And there's a shot, and that's into center field. And the runner at first base, Tolano, goes to third on the play. Interesting that Pusch has a shift on. And you can see the shortstop, Doty, playing just about behind the second base bag. And the ball was hit right where a shortstop would normally play. And even the leadoff hitter, Tolano, his ground ball, that was Tolano going after the shortstop. He was trying to backhand it on a ball that was just to the left of the second base bag. So he was hit it even farther over. And still going to give up the almost the entire left side of the infield. That's the shortstop right there. You see him just on the left of the screen, very close to the bag at second. The runner goes, the throw to second base, and Tolano not able to pick up the short hop throw from Tanner, and it's a stolen base for Gonzalez. Joshua Jones at the plate. And Jones with a swing and a miss for a strike. No balls, 2 strikes. Runners at second and a third with nobody out for the Chargers in the bottom of the third inning. The 0-2 pitch. And that's over the outside corner for a called third strike. So Jones strikes out. He's the first out in the Charger third inning. And the batter is Jesse Mendoza. And a ground ball over on the right side, bobbled a couple of times, and a run is in. The first baseman, Purdue, not able to pick up the ground ball. And so Pusch kicking it around a little bit here as Tolano scores to tie it at 4, and we get a Pusch timeout. So after the timeout, Fredson ready. He'll step to third and look to first, but no play. Manny Aguirre, the first baseman, batting. He had a single and scored a run his first time up. Turn and a throw to first, and close over there. So Mendoza able to get back over there at first base. Mendoza goes, the ball bounced foul wide of third. Nothing in one, the count. Fredson with the set and the pitch. That's fouled off. And it's 0-2. Tying run in for the Chargers in the bottom of the third inning. Throw over again to first base, but the runner back. And the 0-2 fouled out of play with the runner going again. Pusch Ridge with 4 first-inning runs, but not able to hold the lead as Cholla has fought back to score 4. Pitch is outside, and it's 1-2. For the Chargers, 3 runs in the second inning, and now 1 in the bottom of the third. The 1-2. Just off the outside corner, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Nothing goes through now, bud. Nothing goes through.
Here's the set of the 2-2 pitch. With the runner going, the ball hit on the ground, and that's going to get through and into left field, another base hit. And the Chargers come back to take the lead. An RBI single from Aguirre. As he brings in Gonzalez, it's a 2-run third for the Chargers. They lead 5-4. And we're going to get a pinch hitter for Cholla. So a pinch hitter for the Chargers, Bobby Ruelas. Called on to hit, batting in the number 9 spot for Antonio Barola. And the first pitch over for strike 1. Still only 1 out in the Charger third inning. They lead 5-4. Looking back to second base, that gets the runner Mendoza to scramble back. And no balls and 2 strikes on Ruelas. Pitch misses outside, and it's 1-2. And a swing and a miss. And Ruelas strikes out. So there's 2 away in the inning. Runners had to stay at their respective bases. So first and second with 2 outs, 2 runs in for the Chargers. They've turned a 4-3 deficit into a 5-4 lead. And it's back to the top of the order for Rene Campuzano. Campuzano walked in the first, struck out in the second. And he's batting again here in the third. And the pitch over for strike 1. Nothing in 1 on Campuzano. He's ready here. The set of the pitch. Trying to bunt his way on, and he bunts it foul. And it's 0-2. Here's the set and the pitch. The runner from second taken off. The throw goes into left field as it got past the third baseman, Penny. So a stolen base for Mendoza, and then an E2 brings in the run. And Cholla follows up the 3-run second with 3 in the third. It's the third Lion error of the inning. As Aguirre also moves up, he goes to second base. 1-2 the count on Campuzano. And strike 3 called, and that will end the inning, but a good inning for the Chargers. They get 3 runs on 2 base hits. There were 3 Pusch Ridge errors, and one runner left on base. After 3 innings of play, it's Cholla 6 and Pusch 4. Alan Ramirez will start it off in the top of the 4th inning for the Lions. And he takes the first pitch high for ball 1. Ramirez, Penny, and Doty scheduled for Pusch in the 4th. The 1-0. That's on the inside corner, a strike, and it's 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Near the outside corner for a called strike, and it's 1-2. Ramirez walked and scored in the first, struck out, but reached on a wild pitch in the second. And a breaking ball just misses outside, and it's 2-2. Nunez deep breath into the wind, the 2-2. Misses away, 3 balls and 2 strikes. And the 3-2. And that's hit into right field and down for a base hit. And the Lions have a leadoff hit from Ramirez to begin top of the 4th inning. The batter, Ryan Penny.
Third baseman, Ryan Penny.
I don't think that I gave you Ramirez's numbers. He came in to the tournament batting .286 with 6 RBIs. For Penny, a .321 hitter. And a swing and a miss for strike 1. Penny with a double, 2 triples, 12 RBI on the season. And the pitch is high for a ball, and it's 1-1. Throw over to first, but the runner back. Turn and a throw to first. Now the set and the 1-1. That's inside. 2 balls and a strike. The set and the 2-1 pitch with the runner going. The pitch a strike. The throw to second base is late. And Ramirez has a stolen base. He was 8 for 8 in stolen bases coming into the tournament. So he gets to scoring position, and they count 2-2 on Penny. Penny with a single and a run in the first and a sacrifice in the second. The 2-2 pitch. A breaking ball high, 3-2. Nunez with the 3-2. And a slow tapper. Might be a tough play picked up there, and they throw on to first in time. That's a nice play by the third baseman. That's a Gary in there at third base now. So some position changes. 5-3 ground out of Penny. Ramirez goes to third. And the batter, Mike Doty. And the pitch outside for a ball. So Reles stays in the ball game and takes over at first base. Aguirre goes from first to third, and Gonzalez from third base to catch. And a swing and a miss, and it's 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. It's outside, and it's 2 balls and a strike. One on, one out. Pusch Ridge down a couple of runs, but they've got a potential run at third base. Next one high, 3-1. Tony struck out in the first, reached on a fielder's choice in the second. And that's sky high, fly ball into foul territory, right up against the fence, and the right fielder Campuzano not able to get there. Good effort, just ran out of time to get over there, and the count goes full at 3-2. Three balls, 2 strikes the count as Nunez out of the windup in the pitch. And that's fouled out of play down the right side. Deep breath and a whine from Nunez, another 3-2 pitch. And a breaking ball just fouled off. Doty got just a piece of it. Still 3-2 on Doty, trying to get that runner in from third base. Can feel it about halfway, and the pitch is low. So good at bat there for Doty. It's an 8-pitch at bat, and he earns the walk. And goes to first base, and the batter, Donnie Perdue.
Pitcher, Jacob Christensen.
First and third with 1 out in the top of the 4th inning.
First baseman, Donnie Perdue.
They'll step to third. Now they get their runner hung up. Going to come home from third. And the tag applied. And then the throw back to second base. So they throw out the runner. The Chargers turn Pusch Ridge away, at least so far in the 4th inning. Doty took off early. And then the throw came home. And Ramirez gunned down, trying to sneak in there to get Pusch Ridge back on the board. So it's still 6-4, and now Doty at second base with 2 away. And Perdue with a swing and a miss for strike 1. The 0-1, and that's fouled off, and it's 0-2. Pusch Ridge 4 runs in the first inning on 3 hits and 2 Charger errors. Cholla 3 runs on 4 hits in the second, 3 runs on 2 hits in the third. 3 line errors helped the cause. Runner taken off from second base, and the ball grounded foul, third base side. Throw back to second base, and that ball is going to get away, and the runner's going to move up. Chargers had a play on back at second base. Cholla, the shortstop, got over there and then had to reach behind and slipped. And the ball goes into center field. The 0-2. And a check swing, the ball down in the dirt, and the throw on to first base. And the inning is over as Pusch Ridge does not score in the fourth inning. No runs with a hit, 1 error. And 1 runner left on base. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Pusch Ridge trailing Cholla 6-4. Jeffrey Arsola, the leadoff hitter, and he takes a breaking ball inside for ball 1. Arsola, Nunez, Tolano scheduled to bat for the Chargers in the fourth. The 1-0 pitch. Fouled back and out of play, and it's 1-1. The wind and the 1-1 pitch. Bounced in, and it's 2-1. Preston still out there for Pusch Ridge. The 2-1 pitch. Anthony's a strike, and it's 2-2. Arsola with an RBI single his last time up. And the breaking ball just outside, and it's 3-2. The 3-2 pitch. And that's high for ball 4. A leadoff walk. And the batter is Alejandro Nunez.
Pitcher Alejandro Nunez.
Nunez with a 2-run single his last time up. And they throw over to first base, close over there, but safe the call. And the runner takes off at a ground ball. And the out at second, and a throw on to first base, and that's a double play. So that erases the base runner. Nice play by the Pusch Ridge second baseman. That's Alan Ramirez. He was going over to cover the bag with the runner taken off, and ground ball comes right to him. Taps the bag and then throws to first.
Daniel Tolano.
And a double play. The batter is Daniel Tolano, the shortstop. And the first one to Tolano is low for ball 1. The 1-0 pitch. Outside for ball 2, 2-0. Fritson taking the long walk back up the hill here. And back to the line of the 2-0 pitch. And a high pop-up. It's going to be tight near the fence, but in foul territory. Nice catch as Purdue makes the play, and that retires the side after 4 innings of play. Our score remains Cholla 6 and Pusch Ridge 4. Jacob Frithson leads on for the Lions in the top of the 5th. And the first pitch skips in for ball 1. The 1-0 pitch. And that's a hard shot over the head of the third baseman, Gary, and it'll roll all the way to the fence. And Frithson will stop at second base, a leadoff double for the Lions in the 5th. His second base hit of the ball game. Tyler Padilla runs at second base as Philip Tanner is in. And Tanner nearly hit by the pitch there, but it misses inside for ball 1. Tanner with a single his last time up. Also had an RBI ground out his first time. And now a balk called, and that'll move the runner Frithson to third base. And a pitch outside, and it's 2-0. I'm surprised here the Chargers bring the infield in. They're leading 6-4. The 2-0. And that's low for ball 3, 3-0. And I would think you would be trading a run for an out in this situation with a 2-run lead and not give the Lions more green grass to work with. And the pitch on the inside corner, a strike, and it's 3-1. The 3-1. Swing and a foul ball. And it's 3-2. Pusch Ridge trailing 6-4, batting in the top of the 5th. And time called. And the pitch will miss for ball 4, and that puts 2 on for Chad Willis. Chad Willis takes a strike on the outside corner. Fake to third, look to first. Willis walked in the first, he walked again in the third. A swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. Frithson doubled to start the inning, then was balked to third base. Tanner with a walk. The 0-2. That's not close. It'll pop out of the glove of the catcher Gonzalez, and Pusch Ridge has a run in the 5th to make it 6-5. So the wild pitch brings in the run. And now the tying run in scoring position for the Lions in the top of the 5th inning. And a swing and a miss. And Willis out on strikes. He goes up after a pitch out of the strike zone and strikes out. First out of the inning for Pusch Ridge in the 5th, and the batter Tim Yarborough.
Center fielder Tim Yarborough.
And we'll see what Yarborough's asked to do here. He's got a single and a strikeout in 2 at-bats. Showing bunt. Yarborough takes low, maybe outside for ball 1.
Oh, give a darn. Oh, that's our shortstop. Such a good
Nunez looking back, the 1-0. The ball bunted foul over on the third base side, and it's 1-1. Turn back, and they throw back to second, and out is the call as Tanner's runner Padilla is picked off. But I'm just surprised between these two teams the number of times we've had runners picked off. Ball up against the backstop, a foul ball, and it's 1-2. So the base is empty now, 2 away. The 1-2 pitch. That's high from Nunez, and it's 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. And a breaking ball, that's outside, and it's 3-2. Adrian Cholla next for the Lions, the 3-2 pitch. And that's fouled out of play. Still a ways to go in this one. Got to be coming up close to 2 hours of play. I don't know our official start time. I know we were late. I think it was about 8:25. And we're at about 10:20 right now. Pitch foul back.
Such a stupid, funny movie.
Still a count of 3-2 on Yarborough. Another 3-2, and he lost him. That's outside for ball 4. Yarborough walks, and it said it was going to be Ochoa, but looks like we'll get a pinch hitter for Pusch Ridge. Taylor Scholl will bat. Taylor Scholl, the pinch hitter, going after the first one and fouls it to the screen for strike 1. Next one outside and low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Still 1 for 1 in the season coming into the tournament anyway for the Lions. And the next one bounced in, and it's 2-1. Tournament will continue with games bright and early tomorrow. 8 o'clock starts on both fields. As that pitch is over for a strike, and it's 2-2. We've got 3 games tomorrow here on Southwest Sports Network. Pomona and Rincon at 11. Sunnyside and Narbonne at 2. And Rancho and Ralston Valley at 8. And the 2-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss. So Shull strikes out, and the inning is over, but Pusch Ridge gets a run in the 5th inning on a base hit, and they leave one. We go to the bottom of the 5th. The Lions now trail the Chargers 6-5. Carter Gonzalez takes the first pitch for ball 1. Gonzalez, Jones, Mendoza scheduled for the Chargers in the 5th. And the next one misses 2-0. Now, neither pitcher has had a smooth inning. There's been base runners all over throughout the night. And now 3-0. Fritzen did face the minimum in the 4th inning. That was after a leadoff walk, but then he got a double play behind him. And that pitch over for a strike, and it's 3-1. The 3-1 pitch, and a swing and a miss, and it's 3-2. And a swing and a miss. So Gonzalez strikes out, and there's one away in the inning. And then the batter is Joshua Jones.
Second baseman Josh Jones.
Jones with a double in the 2nd. He was called out on strikes in the 3rd. And he takes a breaking ball for ball 1. And the 1-0 pitch. At the knees, a strike, and it's 1-1. Pusch Ridge got 4 runs in the top of the 1st inning. So you get a swing and a miss on a curveball. Cholla answered with 3 runs in the bottom of the 2nd. They scored 3 more in the bottom of the 3rd to lead 6-4. And then Pusch Ridge with a run in the top of the 5th inning to make it 6-5. That's where we're at as we play in the bottom of the 5th. The 1-2. That one didn't miss by much, but called the ball, and it's 2-2. Fritzen with a 2-2 pitch. And a breaking ball inside, and that's ball 3. 3-2. Fritzen into the wind. The 3-2. And he missed low ball 4. So a full count strikeout to start the inning, and now a full count walk. And the batter is Jesse Mendoza. And Mendoza takes strike 1. Jesse walked and scored in the 2nd. And he reached on an error and scored in the 3rd. Throw to first, and the runner dives back. Again, pool play continues tomorrow, and then bracket play starts on Thursday. The top 4 teams from this 12-team tournament will advance to the championship round. And that ball bunted at. And missed there for Mendoza, and it's 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Frithson with the set and a throw to first. And there's a swing and a miss, and Mendoza is out on strikes.
First baseman Manny Aguirre.
That's strikeout number 7 for Jacob Frithson, and now he goes after Manny Aguirre. And the pitch over for a strike. Aguirre with a single and a run in the second, and RBI single in the third. The 1-strike pitch, and it's a breaking ball high, and it's 1-1. And the 1-1 pitch. A little bit of a delay there maybe, but called a strike by the plate umpire, and it's 1-2. Jones with a pretty healthy lead over at first base. He's taken off, but it's a swing and a miss, and for the second inning, Frithson strikes out the side. He's got 8 strikeouts through 5 innings, and we move to the 6th. Cholla does not score. They still lead 6-5. Top of the order for Pusch Ridge in the top of the 6th. And the first one to Ellen Ramirez, high for a ball. Ramirez, Penny, and Doty for the 3rd time. And they're leading off an inning. Actually, for the 4th time as that pitch is over for a strike. The 1-1 pitch. Bounced in, and it's 2-1. The 1 and the 2-1 pitch. High for a ball, 3-1. Well, the leadoff hitter for the Lions has reached in 4 of the first 5 innings. We'll see what happens here to start the 6th, the 3-1. And that might have been ball 4, but it's knocked out of play on the right field side, and it's 3-2. Of those 4 runners that reached to lead off an inning, 2 have scored for the Lions. The 3-2, not close, and it's ball 4. So another leadoff base runner for the Lions. As Ramirez walks to start off the 6th inning, he's the tying run over at first base.
First baseman Ryan Penny.
And the batter is Ryan Penny. And the first pitch high for ball 1. And the runner goes, bunt shown, no bunt there, and then the throw is going to get into center field, but backed up there by Arcel. It is a stolen base, though, for Ramirez. Two balls, no strikes. The count on Penny. Now the tying run is scoring position for the Lions. And the bunt on. And Penny bunts after a pitch that's up out of the strike zone, and the count's 2-1. And a breaking ball misses way inside. Penny able to spin away from it, and the count 3-1. Well, now if you're keeping the bunt on, you for sure want to bunt a strike, because if not, it's ball 4. And take the bunt off, and the pitch does miss high. Ball 4, back-to-back walks to begin the 6th inning. The batter, Mike Doty, and we'll see if there's anybody coming out of the Cholla dugout with
First off, Mike Doty.
Nunez pitching into the 6th inning. And here comes the timeout from the Charger dugout. We play in the 6th. It's 6-5. And Nunez is the guy for Cholla, at least for now, as he stays in there. The bunt on for Pusch Ridge. It's picked up, and the throw is the second baseman was late getting over to cover, and everybody's safe. That'll be a bunt base hit, and it loads the bases for the Lions with nobody out in the 6th. Ramirez to third, Penny to second, Doty aboard at first for Donnie Perdue. And time again from the Cholla dugout, and we will get a pitching change. Donnie Perdue at the plate, and a new pitcher out there as a fastball is over for a strike. Daniel Tolano, the starting shortstop, now on the mound for the Chargers. The 0-1. And a swing that's off the glove, and that might get the run in, and it will. That'll tie the ball game as Pusch Ridge scores to tie the game at 6. Well, the pitch up, it popped out of the glove of the catcher. And so the Lions score in the 6th, and now the go-ahead run at third base with nobody out. And a breaking ball, it's high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tolano with a set and the 1-2. And he throws one to the backstop again. And then the throw gets away, and Pusch Ridge got a chance, and they bring in another one. Scoring all the way from second base is Mike Doty. So 3 runs in for the Lions. Tolano came in with the bases loaded, and 2 wild pitches and a throwing error later. The bases are empty, and all 3 runs have come in. It's 8-6, Pusch Ridge. And the next one low, and it's 3-2. And the pitch outside, and it's ball 4. So Perdue walks, he's aboard at first, and the batter is Jacob Frithson. Well, during the break, we got a pinch runner at first base. We've seen Tyler Padilla a couple of times as a courtesy runner. This time he is into the ball game as a pinch runner running for Purdue. And Fritzen takes the first one from Tilano low for ball one. So the Chargers are going to have to bat here in the bottom of the sixth inning, now trailing 8-6. Turn and throw to first base, and the runner back. New first baseman in the ball game for Cholla, Orlando Ozuna, playing first base. And that one bounced into the backstop, and a wild pitch will move the runner to second. 2-0 the count on Fritzen. And that pitch high, that'll pop out of the glove, and the runner safe at third base. And we had a lengthy delay there. Back to play, though. The 3-0 pitch is at the knees for a strike, and it's 3-1. As Padilla went into third base on that wild pitch, he slid, and the base came out over at third. And his momentum knocks the base out, and then also drops a bunch of dirt down in the hole where the base peg will go in. And so it took him a while to find a piece to be able to dig out that dirt. 3-2 the count with the runner at third. 3 in for the Lions in the top of the sixth inning. And they lead at 8-6. The 3-2 pitch. And a slow tapper to third. Only play is to first base. And it's in time, but another run is in to make it 9-6. And an RBI ground out scores Padilla. And Fritzen with his second RBI of the night. And now the batter, Philip Tanner. He'll bat with the bases empty and one away. And the first pitch bounced in for a ball. Next one outside, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Pitch low, 3-0. The 3-0 pitch. That's over for a strike. And the 3-1. That pitch over for a strike, 3-2. Well, Tilano's gone to a full count on all 3 hitters he has faced. He's got a walk and a ground out. And we'll see what happens here with a 3-2 to Philip Tanner. And it's ball 4. Tanner at first base and the batter Chad Willis, but first a courtesy runner. Oliver Harris, the courtesy runner at first base, and the first pitch to Chad Willis misses for ball 1. I believe we're going to hit time limit, and I think this will be the final inning. Throw to first, and the runner dives back. The tournament rules stated that no new inning can start after 2 hours and 20 minutes. Throw to first again, and again the runner back. And we've been playing now well past 2.5 hours. But of course, you got to finish the inning as the next pitch is low 2-0. So the Cholla Chargers will get a chance to bat in the bottom of the 6th inning. They're going to be chasing at least 3 runs as they trail 9-6. Over to first again, and the runner back. Going to try it again, and again the runner back. And there's a swing and a miss for a strike, and it's 2-1. The set from Tolano in the 2-1. And a swing and a miss. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 on, 1 out. 4 runs in for Pusch Ridge in the top of the 6th inning. They were down 6-5, and now they lead 9-6. The throw over to first again, and the runner back. Delano steps off. And a wild pitch will get the runner to second base. As Harris will get there, the fastball missed well inside. And the count now 3-2. For the 4th hitter in a row, Delano has gone to 3-2. And a ground ball foul, third base side. Still only 1 out in the inning for the Lions. And the pitch is low for ball 4. It's off the glove, and the throw goes to third base. And safe at third to call. That'll be a pass ball. So another walk given up by Daniel Tolano. And the bases come out again at third. The runner will take off as we get to play here. And safe at second base is Willis. New pitcher out there is Roberto Maldonado. And the pitch inside, 2 balls and no strikes. Infield not quite all the way in, but moving in. And there's the next pitch is high, 3-0. Chargers having trouble throwing strikes here in the 6th inning, as that one is over for a strike, at least throwing enough strikes. The 5th walk of the inning was given up to Chad Willis. And there's been 11 walks in the inning as that ball is fouled off, and it's 3-2. And now the infield in proper for Cholla. Everybody with the toes touching the grass. The 3-2 pitch. And it's inside for ball 4. Walk number 12 given up by Charger pitchers. And that loads the bases for Taylor Scholl.
Number 8, Taylor Scholl.
And the ball fouled off. The 1-strike pitch. And that's outside, and it's 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. This is outside, 2-1. The 2-1 pitch. That's inside, just about got Scholl. 3-1. Nowhere to put him, though. Bases loaded and 1 out. The 3-1 pitch. Popped up. Might be an infield fly. And the catch made. I think it was an infield fly, so the batter, Scholl, would have been out anyway, but Ozuna makes the catch for the 2nd out. And the batter, Alan Ramirez.
Alan Ramirez.
And Ramirez takes his strike. He started the inning with a walk. And so the Lions batting around in the 6th. Pitch bounced in and stopped there by Gonzalez. 9-6, Pusch Ridge with the lead. And a pitch fouled out of play. One ball, 2 strikes, and as we look ahead to the Cholla half of the 6th inning, they'll set up 9-1 and 2 in the order. And a breaking ball didn't miss by much, but it is a ball, and it's 2-2. You know, if you're Maldonado, you want to get it done here on 2-2. You don't want to miss to go to 3-2 and have the runners get going. The 2-2 pitch. And that's hit up the middle, stopped, but no play at second base, and a couple of runs will come around to score. And the Lions keep things going. That's a base hit for Ramirez. And it's 11-6.
Third baseman, Ryan Penny.
Now Ryan Penny. And the sprinklers have come on. And we'll wait to see if we can get those turned off as we play in the 6th. It's 11-6. And we've just gotten word that They do not have access to do anything about the sprinklers. I'll give you a shot of them there. They're going down the right field line there, and so because they don't have a way to turn those off, the game has been suspended. It will be resumed from this spot. Each team will play at 5 o'clock tomorrow, and after they each complete their 5 o'clock games, they will finish and complete this 6th inning. So we are suspended in the 6th inning with the score, Pusch Ridge 11 and Cholla 6. Now, based on what our schedule is tomorrow, I don't know if we're going to be able to get the rest of that one covered for you, so we'll let you know and update you throughout the day with some of the other games that we've got going on. So that'll do it. Again, at this point, we're suspended in the 6th inning with the score Pusch Ridge 11 and Cholla 6. And as we look ahead quickly to tomorrow, Cholla plays tomorrow against Ralston Valley, Pusch Ridge against Rancho. And that's how we'll wrap it up then, as that will do it. 11-6 our score, suspended in the 6th inning from Cherry Field. It's the 2013 Chris Moon Memorial Cherry Field Classic. Todd Garbison for Southwest Sports Network saying so long. We're suspended. It's 11-6.